No communication from the chair at the moment.
Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers. Order number 6, notices of motion. Order number 7, statements. Order number 8, motions and bills. Mr. Speaker, sir, there are 2 motions to be moved today. The first one being a motion by the Honorable Isaac Kongwanjiro, the chairperson of the Budget and Appropriations Committee.
Honorable Isaac Kongwanjiro, chairperson, Budget and Appropriation Committee. Honorable Mika Wajiro Dirango, on behalf of the chair, proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm standing on behalf of our chair budget to move a motion on the report on the Nyandarua County Budget Implementation Review Report, CBRI, from the first half of the year 2024-2025. Mr. Speaker, the Budget Committee, of course, comprises of the members as per the pages. There we have our chair, who is Honorable Kongwanjiro, and then we have members there listed, and we have also the committee secretariat. Mr. Speaker, Standing Order number 191 establishes the Budget and Appropriation Committee and bestows upon the latter the functions to investigate, inquire into the report on all matters related to coordination, control, and monitoring of the county budget. Number B, discuss and review the estimates and make recommendation to the Assembly. And number 3, examine the county budget policy statement presented to the Assembly. Number 4, examine the bills related to the county budget, including appropriation bills, and evaluate budgetary policies and programs with direct budget outlays. Mr. Speaker, we want to acknowledge the support that this Assembly has given the Budget Committee and also the Secretariat. Without the support of the Assembly and without the support of the Secretariat, we will not be where we are today, and we will not even have such a report today. Mr. Speaker, there are legal frameworks. Section 104, 1R of the Public Finance Management Act 2012 requires that the County Treasury to report to the County Assembly on the implementation of the annual county budget. Particularly, it provides that, subject to the Constitution, a County Treasury shall monitor, evaluate, and oversee the management of public finance and economic affairs of the county government, including reporting regularly to the County Assembly on the implementation of the annual county budget. In addition, Section 166(4) of the PFMA Act 2012 provides that not later than 1 month after the end of each quarter, the County Treasury shall consolidate the quarterly reports and submit them to the County Assembly. And number 2, deliver copies of the Controller of Budget, National Treasury, and the Commission of Revenue Allocation, and publish and publicize them. Mr. Speaker, Section 345 and Section 149 of the PFMA Act 2012 further provides that not later than 3 months after the County Assembly has adopted a report by the Committee of the County Assembly with respect to the report submitted by the Controller of Budget under Article 226(6) of the Constitution, and in accounting office, an accounting officer shall, for each entity for which the officer is designated, A, prepare a report on actions taken by the entity to implement any recommendation made in the committee's report as adopted by the County Assembly, and B, to submit the report to the County Assembly with a copy to the County Treasury. Not later than 1 month after receiving a report by the accounting officer under Section 3, the County Treasury shall submit to the County Assembly the accounting officer's report and any comment on the report by the County Treasury. Number 5, the report referred to in subsection 3 shall be published and publicized. Now, Mr. Speaker, I go to the overview of the budget for the year 2024-2025, first half. It's quite substantive. I don't know whether I go through each page, but it's okay. I've seen it's a few pages I can manage. Introduction. Honorable Speaker, the county approved budget for the year 2024-2025 was Kenya shillings 8.49 billion, Kenya shillings 3.05 billion, that is 6%, and Kenya shillings 5.4 billion, 64% allocation for development and recurrent programs, respectively. The budget estimates represented an increase of 274 million from the year 2023-2024 approved budget. The budget increase was attributed to the rise in equitable share from Kenya shillings 5.91 billion for the year 2023-2024 to Kenya shillings 6.14 billion for the year 2024-2025. Honorable Speaker, the budget was financed from different sources of revenue, which include A, 6.6 billion, which is 67% expected from the national government as equitable share of revenue raised nationally, and B, 1.5 billion as additional allocation, which is 17%. There was a cash balance of 626.44 million, which is 7%, and it was brought forward from the financial year 2023-2024. And finally, 800 million, representing 9%, generated as gross own source revenue. The own source revenue included 250 million, which is 3% of the facility improvement fund revenue from the health facilities, and included also 600 million, which is 6%, as ordinary own source revenue. We go to the revenue performance. Mr. Speaker, in that year, 2024-2025, the county had 3.32 billion to fund its development and recurrent activities. The amount consisted of 2.4 billion from the equitable share of revenue raised nationally and its own source revenue, correction of 242.49 million. In addition, the county had a cash balance of 626 million from the previous year, which was 2023-2024. Mr. Speaker, the total own source collection of 242.49 million comprised of facility improvement fund, as we had said earlier, of Kenya shillings 111.99 million, and Kenya shillings 130.5 million as ordinary own source revenue. The total revenue available to the county government during the first half of 2024 is as tabulated in the tables that you have on your gadget. We can go together to that table number 1, where we have equitable share revenue raised nationally. Then we have conditional grants, we have ordinary own source revenue, we have balance brought forward from the year 2023-2024, and finally we have FIF. The totals are there and you can see. Honorable Speaker, during the first half of 2024-2025, the county generated 242 million from its own revenue sources, including FIF. The amount was an increase of 9% compared to 222.93 million realized in similar period for the year 2023, and was 29% of the annual target. So you can see an improvement there. The exchequer issues. Honorable Speaker, during the reporting period, the Controller of Budget approved withdrawals of 2.23 billion from the CRF account, which comprised of 282.5 million, which is 13% for the development programs, and also comprised of 1.95 billion, which is 87% for recurrent programs. Analysis of the recurrent exchequers released in the first half of 2024-2025, members' note is 2024-2025, indicated that 1.22 billion was released towards compensation of employees and 729.9 million of operations and maintenance expenditure. Notably, releases towards employee compensation in the first half of the year 2024-2025 did not include the December 2024 exchequer request for the county executive and the county assembly, as the exchequer requests were submitted in January 2025. Important point there to note. Further, the OCOB reported that analysis of the operations and maintenance exchequer releases indicated that 30% was for domestic travel and 1% foreign travel. The domestic travel exchequer amounted to in shillings 2.158 million, including 101.32 million for the county executive and 54.9 million for the county assembly. Foreign exchequer total 7.3 for the county assembly. County expenditure review. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, the Controller Budget reported that the county spent 2.9 billion on development and recurrent programs in the reporting period. The expenditure represented 1.2% of the total funds released by the COB and comprised of 306.99 million and 2.4 billion on development and recurrent programs respectively. The expenditure on development program represented an absorption rate of The Controller of Budget reported that the most departments exceeded their respective exchequer receipts, and further reported that the county treasury did not provide an explanation for this. In the report, the committee observed that 1,947.28 million was released and funded to fund the recurrent expenditure, while 2.417.40 was expended on recurrent. In addition, 360 million was expended on development, while releases towards development was only 282.5 million. This is a summarized table below. Page 9, members. You can see the table there. Table number 3. We have compensation to employees. We have operations and maintenance. The totals are there. Honorable Speaker, the average departmental absorption rate for the county executive budget was 31%, where the recurrent absorption rate was 45%, where development rate of absorption was 10% of the annual budget. The County Assembly spent 187.7 million on employees' compensation and Kenya shillings 181.03 million on operation and maintenance. You can see table number 4 below on page 9. The County Assembly realized an average absorption of 38.62%. Absorption rate of recurrent expenditure stood at 41.45%, while no development was reported in the period under review. It's good to note most of our monies in this assembly is recurrent. Expenditure on personal emoluments. Honorable Speaker, in the first half of the year 2024-2025, expenditure on employee compensation was 1.2 billion, both executive and assembly. All 43% of the available revenue of 3.2 billion. The expenditure represented an increase from 1.38 million reported in the similar period for the year 2024-2025, while the wage bill included 565.32 million paid to the health sector employees, translating to 41% of the total wage bill expenditure in the same period. Honorable Speaker, the COB reported that personal emolument cost amounting to Kenya shillings 1.3 billion were processed through the Integrated Personal and Payroll Database IPPD data system. In contrast, 58 million was processed through manual payrolls, which accounted for 4% of the total costs, PE cost. In addition, it was reported that the County Assembly spent 3.5 million on committee seating allowances for the 41 MCAs and the Speaker against the annual budget allocation of 39.49 million. The average monthly seating allowance was 53.57 per MCA. Expenditure on operation and maintenance. Honorable Speaker, noted that during the reporting period, expenditure on domestic travel amounted to 215.82 million and comprised of 54.9 million spent by the County Assembly and 161.32 million by the County Executive. Expenditure on foreign travel amounted to 7.3 million, which was incurred by the Assembly. Development expenditure. In the first half of the year 2024-2025, the county absorbed 10% of the development budget. The reported spending was 3.06 million on the development program and 3.04 billion. An increase, let me repeat that. The reported spending was 306.9 million on development programs out of 3.04 billion, an increase of 55% compared to a similar period in the year 2023-2024, where the county spent 197.06 million. Honorable Speaker, the county departments performed this in absorption of their development budget, with most departments recording zero absorption. The Department of Finance recorded the highest absorption rate of 65%, on its development budget, which resulted from payment of pending bills. It was followed by the Department of Health Services absorption of 34% on its development budget, which was utilized on payment of pending bills amounting to Kenya shillings 70.2 million and Kenya shillings 10 million for JM Mashujaa Complex, an upgrade of Shamoka or Jororok Health Center, respectively. The Department of Public Works, Roads, Transport, Housing and Energy absorbed 12% on the development budget. Below table 5 is the tabulation of the department. You can see the budget allocation on column number 1, then the expenditure, column number 2, then the rates. It ranges from 0%, we have finance 65%, we have education which was 1%, we have tourism that is 6%, health was 34%, youth empowerment, sport and arts was 0%, water, environment, climate change and natural resources was 2%, public works, roads, transport, housing and energy was 12%, land fiscal planning, urban development was 1%, all Kalau municipalities 0, Maironya municipality 0, Engineer municipality 0, agriculture, livestock and fisheries 0, and the county assembly, you can see the figure there down. Departmental recurrent expenditure. The average recurrent absorption rate in the first half of the 2024-2025 was 44%. Mind you, members, this is the first quarter. It is not the entire year, it's the first quarter. The analysis of the department expenditure on recurrent showed in the Department of Finance and Economic Planning and ICT recorded the highest absorption rate of 87%, followed by the Department of Public Works, Roads, Transport, Housing and Energy at 59%. Other departments as included in the table number 6, pages 12 and 13. You can see 32% on the Office of the Governor, County Secretary 20, Office of the County Attorney 39, Public Admin 46, Finance 87, the Board 46, we have Health 14, Education 18, Tourism 50, Youth was 34, Water was 42, Public Works was 59, Lands and Fiscal Planning was 42, Olkalau Municipality 17, Maironya Municipality 24, Engineer Municipality 19, Agriculture and Fisheries that is 38, and the County Assembly 41%. We are now chapter number 3, key COB observations and committee's recommendations. Keen to note, COB observations. Honorable Speaker, in the course of overseeing and reporting on the implementation of the county budget, the Controller of Budget identified the following challenges which hampered effective budget implementation. Challenge number 1. Underperformance of ONSO's revenue of Kenya shillings 242.9 million against an annual target of 850 million, representing 28% of the yearly target. Challenge number 2, unspent funds from year 2023-2024 were not. Members, it's good to note this. These are the findings from the COB, and challenge number 2 is unspent funds for the year 2023-2024 were not refunded into the CRF account, which led to an actual expenditure exceeding the approved exchequer in several departments. Challenge number 3, a high level of pending bills amounting to 1.2 billion as of 31st December 2024. Further, there were no adherence to payment plan for the pending bills by the county treasury. Challenge number 4 as per the COB, use of manual payroll. Personal emoluments amounting to 58.02 million were processed through manual payroll, accounting to 4% of the total payroll cost. Manual payroll is prone to abuse and may lead to the loss of public funds where proper controls are lacking. Committee's recommendation. Honorable Speaker, the County Executive should implement the following recommendation to improve budget execution as proposed by the Controller of Budget. Recommendation number 1. The county should address the on-source revenue performance to ensure the approved budget is fully financed. Appropriate austerity measures should be implemented to ensure expenditure commitments are aligned with available revenue. Recommendation number 2, the county treasury should ensure unspent funds from the previous financial years are deposited to CRF account in line with Section 136 of the PFMA Act 2012. Recommendation number 3, that over 50% of the unspent balances at the closure of the financial year be utilized or used to fund the development activities in the following financial year during the consideration of the supplementary budget. Recommendation number 4, the County Executive Member of Finance, Economic Planning and ICT should address the situation of pending bill to ensure that genuine bills are paid promptly in the remaining financial year. Further compliance with the payment plan should be enforced. And finally, the salaries should be processed through the IPPD data system, and therefore the county is advised to fast-track the acquisition of unified personal number for all the staff. Further, strict compliance with the approved staff establishment should be maintained. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, while Nyandarua has made strides in budget implementation, low absorption of development funds, rising pending bills, and weak revenue mobilization continue to undermine the service delivery. The Assembly therefore urges that the County Executive to strengthen project planning, streamline procurement to avoid unnecessary delays, enforce fiscal discipline, and settle genuine pending bills promptly. As per our mandate of the overseeing the prudent use of public resources, we reaffirm our commitment to ensuring that the resources allocated deliver tangible results for the people of Nyandarua. Arising from the above, the Committee on Budget and Appropriations implores the House to adopt its report on the Nyandarua County Budget Implementation Review Report for the first half of 2024-2025 as a report of this House, and the recommendation therein as a resolution of this House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, it was important that I go through this because it is a report for the previous year, which is 2024-2025. That is why I've gone page by page for members to just go through it and refresh our mind on what is it we did and the performance of that year. And just to note, this is the first quarter of the year 2024-2025. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I move and I call Honorable Gitau Captain to second.
Honorable Speaker, I second.
The motion is duly moved and seconded. I now propose the question, which is that this House does adopt the report of the Committee on Budget Appropriations on the county government budget implementation review report for the first half of the year 2024-2025 as a report of the House and the recommendations therein as the recommendations as the resolutions of the House. Honorable Kayani, member for Githafai.
Thank you, Honorable
Proceed.
Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to make some contributions regarding this report moved by the Committee on Budget regarding the county expenditures for the year 24-25. From the onset, Honorable Speaker, I want to begin from where the mover ended by making a note that this was supposed to be a report for the first quarter for the year 24-25. And at that point, Honorable Speaker, begin my contribution by saying I'm at loss whether it was a full financial year report or quarter year report. And many are the instances where the report does refer to the complete financial year 24-25. Such case, Honorable Speaker, and I'm beginning from the end so that I move to the beginning. If you look at the recommendations from the COB, that is page 22, or observations, COB's observations. If you look at part B of the same, it reads, unspent funds from financial year 23-24 were not refunded into the CRF. Yeah, if I could begin by that and vary a bit my point and say that is a very strong point made by the COB. Even spent funds are not refunded to the CRF, Honorable Speaker. What is the PFM requirement in law in regards to unspent money? That's question number one. Question number two, what happened to that money? What became of that money? If it is not appearing under the CRF, where, which account the county government? Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I needed the mover to listen to this.
Let me just make a clarification. That is where I moved to the Speaker. Clarification for your contribution.
Go ahead. Sorry.
The report I've just moved is a half-year report for the year 2024-2025, not the quarter report as I said earlier. Thank you.
Thank you for that clarification. I made a notice of the same, and I said I want to vary my contribution at some point because I noted that was the statement made here is for 23-24, and you are. Thank you. I need your attention.
Proceed, Honorable Kayani.
Honorable Kayani.
Remember, you are addressing the House. Order, Honorable Wajiro.
I wanted to report to her
Order.
that I can multitask.
Order. Proceed, Honorable Kayani.
Thank you. For the member confirming that she can multitask. That's a good report, because once a mover moves the motion, you need to take notes of the contribution so that he can respond to the same other point of responding. Honorable Speaker, I wanted to say this, that I did not find the committee making strong recommendations regarding the observation by the COB. And the question that I would have expected the committee to do is to tell us, since the COB observed that financial year 23-24 unspent funds were not submitted or refunded to the CRF, what became of them? What happened to that amount? how did it find its way to the next year's financial year budget? It's still left hanging. Would have expected that to be dealt with fully under the conclusion, as an observation that was done by the COB. Number two, Honorable Speaker, I've also noted that by the 30th June 2024, the pending bills stood at 1.24 billion and 791.61 million was for development. I also note that in table 3, the expenditures on recurrent went to 45%, and while development was at 10%. There is no tandem expenditures on recurrent against developments. There is definitely an over expenditure on recurrent, while development remains partly very low. And that informs why there are no substantial development being noticed on the ground. And we are here as a government to benefit our people, or to take the benefit of development to our people. If our people get to know that we are spending more onto ourselves at the expense of working for them, that will be an indictment on of our own. Number C of the recommendation of the COB, which is what I want to delve on, a high level of spending of pending bills amounting to 1.21 billion as at 31st December. Remember, Honorable Speaker, by 30th June 2024, which is barely 5 months down the lane, the pending bill stood at 1.24 billion. While at December, 6 months down the lane, it stood at 1.21 billion. Only around 300 million spent for development on pending bill. And this does inform what the Senate was talking about. There was a deliberate intention, Honorable Speaker, as much as I want to believe that the mover of the motion can multitask, it defeats the purpose why I would stand and make a contribution, and she is busy engaging. I think that defeats the purpose, because I expect her to be taking notes to respond to my contribution. Otherwise, it defeats the purpose.
Honorable Kayani, as you have rightly stated,
let us allow her to consult, then we continue from there. Once she's able to listen to us.
You are addressing the House, Honorable Kayani. Proceed, Honorable Kayani, and call the mover to respond. Order, Honorable Kayani.
Honorable Speaker, just
for
information,
Honorable Speaker,
nowadays we are not taking, we are digital. We are not taking notes using the pen and a paper. I'm taking notes through my gadget, and I have the notes here with me, Mr. Speaker. This is for information of Honorable Kayani.
Order.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Taking notes is consulting with somebody else. It must be a magician. Honorable Speaker, let me make my contribution anyhow for the Hansard and Nyandarua.
Order, Honorable Kayani, you conclude your remarks because you have taken quite some time.
Yeah, because I'm interrupted, Honorable Speaker.
Proceed.
I'm interrupted. I don't know whether it's deliberately so that I don't make sense out of whatever was given. And Honorable Speaker, I would recommend probably that this report is not concluded in this sitting, so that we're given more time to delve into this. It affects our people, and therefore, if you could allow us more time, Honorable Speaker, to be able to look into these issues and report back, I would plead on you, with you, Honorable Speaker, that you allow this motion not to be concluded today, but in another sitting, so that we're able to cope through this report. And especially when the chair of the city committee is here, so that we are not slighted with the contempt that we have noted. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Since there is no other contributor, can you kindly call the mover to respond?
Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Zachary Mwangijeru, proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, rising from what Honorable Kayani has observed, I think it is imperative, Honorable Speaker, to have another sitting to discuss the said report, bearing in mind even the House is not queried, and you can confirm as much.
Clerk, confirm that we have the requisite quorum to proceed with the business of the day.
Mr. Speaker, sir, the House is not queried.
There being no quorum to proceed with the business of the day, I direct the pursuant to Standing Order 36, the quorum bearer be rung for 8 minutes, or until such a time that quorum is achieved. Honorable members, there being no quorum to proceed with the business of the day, I now adjourn the House to Wednesday, the 22nd day of October 2025 at 2:30 p.m.